Hello, mayors, one and all. How are you all doing? I hope you're well. We're here to start another episode of Barbazine Island, our vanilla island. If you like this series, please leave your like here at the beginning of the video, okay? And comment what you think. You can give your opinions, your criticisms, your suggestions. And if you're not subscribed yet, there are a lot of people coming in who watch the videos and aren't subscribed. Sometimes they even think they are, but they're not. Just double check to help us out so we can reach 100,000 subscribers this year. Who knows, right? We're really close. I'm counting on your help and your support. Well, in the last episode, right, we managed to set up a bus terminal here, and we created a line that comes from the industries in Villa Inglesa, and there are a lot of people using it. People are walking around here on the paths, and that's how it turned out, right? It kind of turned into a park here. It's really open, and I plan to work on this area today, okay? But before that, right, I think I'll do a quick overview here. I'll show how the rest of the island is doing. There's traffic here, and guess why? Because of the maintenance vehicle. And over here, man, I'm having these problems, okay? Suddenly, people forget how to access the buildings, okay? No, see, there isn't a crosswalk. I don't know why. You just have to go in. But then, man, the farms, they're either having this problem or this problem here of collapsing, okay? And I can't get it to rebuild because it's saying we don't have any disaster response units available. And I've already tried to look around here, and in this fire and rescue section, we only have the fire department. And there's no rescue unit around here, okay? And here in the disaster control section, we only have shelters and the prevention system, right? The one that warns when a natural disaster's coming. I don't know where it is. I'm kind of losing my mind, okay? And man, it's a pain to keep rebuilding this, right? Because you have to keep drawing the exact area again. Anyway, right? It's kind of annoying. If anyone can give me a suggestion on what to do, okay? About this. And here, right? We still have the traffic, which is that old problem, right? People wanting to go to our new city. And they keep funneling into this single lane here, which is the exit. Because they prefer to use this road here, right? Rather than this one, see? On the outside? And I believe it's only because this one has 2 lanes, right? Here we have 2 lanes going, and on this cliff road, we only have 1 lane on each side. I believe that's why I'm going to make it a bit easier here, because I think if we double the lanes on this cliff road, it won't look as good. The idea is really to have a tighter space, right? There's traffic here too, but it's also because of the maintenance vehicle. Anyway, what I'm gonna do here is use this asymmetrical 5-lane road. And then I'll open up 1 more lane for those who are, look, arriving. I think even from here, look, this whole bridge, it can have 3 lanes in this direction coming in because 2 will exit. So that's basically it, okay? And here I'll also put 2 lanes on this ramp. Here I'll make it asymmetrical, right? So we can also have 2 lanes entering this area. And continuing in this direction here, look. With 2 lanes until it's duplicated. Here, let's see, right? If 1 more lane will improve this flow here, right? The traffic flow, well, it's inaugurated here. Look, the new lanes. And I hope it makes things easier, right? If people don't keep making these crazy stops here, man. Man, the traffic here in the game is just depressing, you know? Look at the garbage truck. Why do that? Man, look at that. Then it goes back to the same lane and moves to that one. There's no need. There's no need. These 2 lanes here, look, they're going straight. The guy doesn't need to get into this one here, look. Making these crazy lane changes here, see? You see that? I'm adding that here too. Adding it to the math here, right? It all makes sense, right? 1 more lane. So I'm already putting everything here. There were 2 lanes. And now we'll have 3 lanes. 3 going, right? Let's see if this will help ease the traffic in this area, right? Let's see if 1 more lane solves the traffic problem. Well, in the rest of the island, I don't think there's much to comment on. Here, this problem of waiting for the funeral car, specifically in this area, never goes away, okay? I think we've already had about 10 episodes where these same buildings are waiting for a funeral car, and it's not like we don't have a crematorium. Look, there's 1 here, there's 1 here, and there's another one here too, okay? So it's kind of, I think this is already a bug, okay? It almost makes me want to delete it and let it grow again. Look, I deleted this one and it's still waiting for an ambulance, okay? I'm really thinking this is a bug. How is that even possible, man? Here in our historic village, everything's fine too, right? Over here, just car accidents and that's it. Let's come back here then to our French city, our Parisian village, right? Well, in the last episode, we built a lot of monuments, right? We have the bronze statue here. We also have the National Gallery of Art here. We also have our Notre Dame Cathedral, right? Close to the lake, to the station. But now I want to make it easier for tourists to get here, right? Because there's no point in putting up landmarks if tourists can't get to them, even though we have the train track here. But that's only for people coming from other villages on the island, right? It's not for people coming from outside. And our other two villages, right? They have a way for people from outside to arrive by port, right? Here we have, let me see here exactly. No, this here is the ferry. In fact, we have to take the ferry over there, right? We have to take the ferry over there too. We have here, look, the ports, both in Vila Velha and also here on Asiatic Island, right? There are two ports that, man, let me tell you, people barely get off from here, you know? 18, 19 passengers. That's very few passengers for a cruise, right? For a transatlantic, I don't know why. Since cities Skylines zoom, it seems like people don't like to arrive by boat. So, we're going to build the airport. A lot of people say, Barbosa, where's the airport? And the airport on this map is a very serious matter. Because the smallest airport, look at its size, right? Compared to this, it's almost half the size of the village we've already built. It needs a very flat area, okay? Really flat. And here, look, there's no flat area. Here, there's a small flat area. But we still need to consider, besides the airport area, the approach and departure area, right? So there's no space on the island. And this is a very common problem on several islands around the world in real life. And what's the solution found by most governments, by engineers? Landfill, okay? Landfill solves a lot of this problem. My initial intention was to put this airport on a landfill, more or less here, look, close to the port, right, and to the industry. But there will be a conflict on the descent and ascent ramp with the entry of boats heading to the port. That's why I'm going to put it on the other side of the city. I'll even buy some areas here so we can work on a strip. Good. Maybe even this part to unlock this last extension here of Villa Francesa. And so we can place this airport on a landfill around here. I think up to here would be fine. Because, I don't know, we could even make a little use of this island. And over here, right, we have a slope. A very deep depression in the ocean. I think the landfill would be more usable from here to here, right? So I would place it right at the edge here, like this. And I would still leave a small channel here to access this bay. Maybe build some access bridges, right? It would look really nice. So, my friends, let's get to work on this landfill. As for connections, right? We have a road here. I think we can make an access point over here. Look, also taking advantage of the fact that these islands are here, I think it's a good location and, in a way, even strategic. I'm going to use the island's own reference height here. Level 2 meters above sea level. Start filling in. Well, I'm going to extend this reclaimed land in this direction, right? Up to here, where the ocean gets much deeper. So, here would be the limit for this landfill. I hope this size is enough. I think so. Let's see. It looks like a speech balloon, right? From manga, from Jimby, look. The speech square here and the little arrow, indicating which character is speaking. It's almost going to fit. I plan to stretch it just a little more. I think on this side right here. And it'll be just right. Play it here, right? So the water already behaves with the landfill completed. And now, look. Yes, it does, look, so I can place our airport just right. I'm going to put it right here. That way we even get this space to work on the access roads, right? Later, we can even smooth out this edge here. All right, the airport is positioned here. And over here, we'll have to take a look at this road. I think a single lane won't be enough to handle the traffic flow both to the airport and to access the city here. So I'm going to add an extra lane in each direction. Here, we're going to do a road widening project up to the exit at the edge of the island. Here, where this train track is elevated to go over this small bay, I think we can keep this elevation at least up to down here so we can make the access to the airport through here. Or maybe even bring the train track here to a station. I don't know. We have a cargo terminal. Okay, the track is here. Look. Oops. It's going the wrong way, right? If the track were on this side? Okay. And I think if I turn here, we can connect the track, but... However, we're going to have to bring the road all the way here. Look, up to this part. Man, this is going to be a more complex project than I thought. But let's do it. Barbosa Cities is for that after all. I'll start with the avenue. Actually, I think it's better to have a one-way street and some parking spaces here in front. Let me see. This is the main entrance, right? I'm going to extend a small avenue from here to make a parking lot. I'm going to make a parking lot right here in front of the main entrance. I'll also make the return path now, right? Whoever comes in here can turn around, right? I'm going to make a curve here, see, to come back this way and get to the road. Go around the back of the airport. Because the game put this train track on the wrong side. I mean, not on the wrong side, right? But we had a 50% chance of being on the right side. And that's not what happened. I'm going to make this roundabout here. Actually, I'm going to bring it a little more this way, right? To give access to this cargo area of the airport. And then, after that, we make the way back. We build the side avenue here so we can go around, connect this part here to the exit, and that's it. I think that's basically it, at least for this front part, right? Let's go ahead and build this big avenue back here. Man, look at this. Here, where the landing and takeoff happen for the plane, I can easily put a road through, okay? But here, look, to get this corner, I can't because it says it's colliding with the ramp. But I've already placed the ramp here. The game let me put the ramp here. And here, it doesn't let me, man. I'll have to move it a little further back here so it doesn't hit this ramp. Isn't it crazy? Here it works. Here it goes smoothly. Here it doesn't work. But here it does. Go figure, right? I'll make a road over here just so we can use this side, right? I don't know. In my mind, there would be a road coming all the way back here, right? Even for maintenance and stuff like that. And that's why this access, this small access. Now here, right? Let's make the connection to the road. I think I'm going to redo this route here too. So we can keep going here. Look, in a more planned way, let's say. Hold on. I'm also going to move this train track back a bit because it's getting in my way a little. And maybe we won't even run it through here anymore, right? Let's prioritize the road here first and then the train track. And we get a new passage here, right? Even taking advantage of this flatter part by the edge of the hill. I think it turned out pretty consistent. Now we're going to build the whole access road up to that avenue over there that goes around the airport. So I think it's easier to start making the connection from one side to the other right here. Already as a bridge. Let me see. 10 meters? I think that's even too high. This height here is better. Then I bring it down here to ground level. And I connect it to the main lane. The avenue, right? And we get this crossing here, right? In an S shape. And here, it's about starting to make the intersection. I don't know if I should pull one end over here. Because this avenue here, right? It's not going to end here. It's going to make a connection here. Something like this. I'm going to make a simple connection here for now. Later, I'll do some proper ramps here, but this avenue will end here. And then, I don't know if I should pull this one over here like this, more or less. Or if I should leave this big space here without any avenue. Look, following the terrain, right? I think we'd have an avenue around here, look. Or I could make it, right? With a regular 2-lane street here, right? And the rest I'll do with alleys or dirt roads. Because I think this is already going to be a more rural area, you know? So maybe a simple street would be better. And I think since this road here, right? It's elevated. We can make this passage go underneath here. There I go messing with the tunnel again, right? But I think it's easier to start from this side, right? Starting to lower the passage here. Look at that, huh? I didn't even bug the tunnel this time, huh? It turned out nice. And I also believe that the traffic flow here won't even be that intense. Okay, so this street here is more than fine. And following the terrain here, now the access ramps are missing here. And here it will be much simpler. Because I'm going to do it, right? In that little scissor style layout. See? One is already done here. I'm going to make another one here on this side. Parallel here almost to the tunnel exit. Like this. And also add the ramps, both on this side and on this side here. Up here too. Now I just have to do it, right? On the other side here with this road. And also both here on this side and here on the other side too. I didn't see when it happened, but the tunnel disappeared. out of nowhere. So I took the opportunity to redo it here with a 2-lane avenue, right? Because, well, it's just a matter of lane math, really. And guys, it took a while, you know? I won't say it was quick, no. Man, building a tunnel is asking for trouble. Now I'm just going to adjust the landscaping here, do some good old texture detailing too. And that's it, new intersection here. Opened up, detailed, and safe for getting to the airport. Now the only thing missing, man, is the train line. I want to see if it goes through here, a height of 10 meters right here. Man, it does go through here. Look, this spot here works. I'll tell you, it's going to be right here, so that's it. Just bring this track from here to here. I'll even create a street here, just so I have somewhere to place this track. Look, parallel to the highway, right? And make this small S-shaped detour. For that, I'm going to use the complex curve here. Go a third of the way, click. Bring another third up to the dashed line here. And there you go, look, we make a really smooth S, connect it to the other side here, up to here. It's relatively simple, right? It became a viaduct. I can delete this street. And this other side here, right? I'm going to make it go around here. I'm going to kind of make an atoll here. Breakwater to connect this cargo area of the airport. Look, I've already finished the track here, right? Now I just need to make the exit over here. We had a similar problem to this, right? With the train track issue in our last series, right? In Bahia de Barbosa. That issue with the cargo train track exit to the airport also gave us a bit of a headache. But here it's actually easily solved too, right? We have the train track coming back through here. To make it a bit more realistic, I think I'm really gonna do it like in the original idea, which is a breakwater here. A small embankment. Just to justify this train track running through here, look, right here. Guys, that's it. I think maybe now just the detailing of some rocks. But to really detail, add them here. All right, that's it here. Look, rocks on both sides. On both sides. I think there could be some here too, right? Make the final adjustments here as well. Man, I think that's it. The reclaimed land for the airport is done here. On the outside here, I'm going to put some trees too. Not too many. Here where the original island was too. But so it doesn't look so empty, right? Well, there are already people. Look, coming over here. We haven't even established any routes yet, but people are already coming early. Look at that. It turned out really good. I think this is one of the best airports I've ever built in Cities Skylines too. But obviously, I want to know your opinion, right? And one thing I've noticed here on this island is that we haven't used any divided highways, okay? None at all. And that's really crazy. I'm making a little sand area here to see if it looks good. A sandbank, right? All right, let's leave it like that. Now, all that's left is for us to open our air routes here. Look, this terminal here can already be used for access. Let me see. Where is it? Where are ours? Here, look, there's an air exit here. Let's do a round trip here. There's one more here. 2, 3. Yeah, there are 4. I'm going to use all the terminals. I don't even care. I'll make all 4 outside connections because I want to see the inaugural flight already. And of course, there are cargo routes too, right? We can set up 2 cargo routes. Look, there's already a plane arriving, huh? There's already a plane arriving. There was pent-up demand. Now that the airport is open, people are arriving. The cargo railway part, right? Let's check our cargo lines because I don't even remember them anymore. Yeah, we have 2. This one comes from outside the map and connects here at this port, right? Vila dos Petroleros. And there's another line that leaves from our main port, right? And it also goes outside. So they're all export lines. I'm going to create a line like this, starting right here from the port and going all the way to the cargo area of the airport. Huh, there's no connection. Why not? At some point here, look, we don't have it here. There's no connection here. There is one here. Could something be bugged here? I think it's here. Look, this node isn't right. Let's redo it. And I'm also going to export from this port here in Vila dos Petroleros. Although there's only one platform, right? Do we have an additional platform? No, so I'll leave it as is. The other side here, maybe for a future cargo station, even to supply the cities, right? I'll leave this other track here empty, and there's already a plane taking off. This one is leaving, empty, It's a cargo plane. Let's see someone arriving. Look, I think someone is already arriving here. 27 passengers. It's a commercial plane. We can watch the landing, so it'll probably circle around here. And it's already lining up for the descent. Look at that, right? Almost like the Rio airport, right? Rio de Janeiro. You get really close to the water like this. And now I forgot if it's Galeon or Santos Dumont. And look at that. Landing complete, right? Landing gear, see? Touching the runway. And welcome to Barbosa Cities, our vanilla island, okay? People who arrive by car, right? They come in through these roads here. Let's see. It's a runway that won't get used all that much. I think we can create a bus line as well. To take the people over to the French village, let's take them straight here to the terminal, since we've already opened the terminal. Then, the people who arrive can also take the bus with 0 fare. It's a shame we can't put a passenger station, right? It could be attached here, look, for a passenger station, right? Bring this train track all the way here, and if it connects to the terminal already, right? But the game is still kind of lacking when it comes to transportation. Maybe put some taxi stands here too, right? In case people want to take a taxi. Well, that's it, guys. I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much to everyone who watched. We have a new deputy mayor around here. Thank you very much, Morado BSB. He must be from Brasilia, for becoming a member here on the channel. Thank you also to Retangulo Gamer, David Silva, David Trajano, Raik Queiroz, Guilherme Giovanni Perez, Thaís, Ed Moreno, André Ribeiro, Johnny Edson, Rafael Caetano, Bruno Ferreira, Juan Vitor, Giovanni Freitas, José Fernando Nagal, and JP. Look at how many people. It's even looking like the credits at the end of a cartoon when they say the names of the voice actors. And if you became a member and your name hasn't shown up here yet, it's because the videos are recorded in advance. If you became a member and your name isn't here, at some point it will show up. In some episode, you will be immortalized. Just like our secretaries are also being immortalized here in the credits. Along with the vice mayors, they get to see the episodes here in advance, at least 24 hours in advance. My sincere thanks to the secretaries. Now, who is out there on the street, in contact with the people, supervising and holding the mayor accountable? It's our counselors, the foundation and pillar of this channel. Their names are also appearing here in the credits as a way of showing gratitude. And for you who are not a member of the channel, for whatever reason, but are subscribed, you eagerly wait to watch the episodes when they are released. You always start by leaving a like at the beginning of the video and always comment on what you think. Thank you so much. You are amazing. You are awesome. This channel is made for you, so enjoy it. We're always in this together, everyone. Big hug, and see you next time. Take care.